How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, this is going to be my first impressions of Shin Megami Tensei 5. So, I've played about 10 hours of this game, and I wanted to give it a little bit of my first impressions with no spoilers really at all for this. I'm going to be speaking very vague, not going to be talking about any story plots, not going to be talking about any certain boss fights. Nothing like that is going to be happening in this video. This video is spoiler free, so you can watch the rest of this and not be spoiled about the game, but this is just my first impressions of this. I know a lot of people are sort of on the fence on whether or not they want to buy this game, if there are certain quality of life changes to SMT5, what's updated from past titles like SMT4 or Apocalypse or SMT3, what is updated, what is different, what things are here but maybe updated on a little bit more. But let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So first things first that I really love about this game is the initial start of this. So it does do a pretty decent job at, giving you the characters and everything else, but it throws you into the action pretty much right away. It does not take a very long time for you to start actually playing this game, and even the tutorial stages is only a couple hours long. Now, for most JRPGs that sounds like, that's pretty good, because it is pretty good, but for most games in general, yeah, it's a little bit long. But that is because it's a JRPG, there's a lot of different elements that have to be set up. There are a couple new things for SMT5 that wasn't even in some of the older SMT games. I'm talking like core mechanics that you now need to learn for this game, but it really does put you right into the action and helps you sort of learn certain things along the way, which is really nice. And I'm glad that they sort of did that for the start of this game. Moving on over, we have the story. So the story, like I said, it brings you right into the middle of this pretty much right away, which is nice. And the story is intriguing enough to keep you going, but it doesn't tell you so much that you have absolutely nothing to guess on. So it's enough to keep you going, but also enough to keep you guessing and trying to want to understand the plot. I've always thought of this game, at least so far from what I'm playing, as kind of like a good book where it's like, what's the next chapter gonna say? Because of what just happened now must tell that something else is going to be down the road. It really felt like it's sort of maybe segmented in certain ways. I think that's how all stories, I guess, kind of go, but it definitely makes it to where you want to know what's going to happen next, but it doesn't give you so much stuff all at once. It doesn't give you a ton of dialogue like a lot of other JRPGs do, where you're just getting pages and pages of it, but this actually does a pretty good job at just giving you just enough story to keep you hooked, or just enough story to keep you sort of guessing while all at the same time. And talking about audio and dialogue, once again, let's give, props to Atlus, man. This game already, some of the best voice acting that I have heard, and some of the best tracks ever. A lot of the overworld themes, very, very nice. They feel explorative, they feel, a little wild, a little bit crazy during certain points. It changes and transitions depending on these certain areas that you actually go into, which is really nice. You're not hearing just one overworld theme or a couple overworld themes. It seems like each different area, sort of kind of have different little things to them. They keep the same sort of vibe, but they change out just a little bit, which is really nice. And the battle theme is good as well. There's a boss theme, there's other boss themes, so it's not just like there's just one battle theme and then one boss theme. I think there's actually multiple different sort of boss themes that you can end up getting for different things, and I'm not going to spoil anything else, but there are different themes for different types of bosses and whatnot. And of course you have the theme that you get when you do a normal fight, which is also really good as well. And this is something that I wanted to know whether or not it was good. Just from the trailers and whatnot we've seen of SMT5, we knew the environment was going to be well, and something that I think that is key to giving a good environment, giving good immersion, is good music. Because once that soundtrack hits in, you just want to keep playing, especially a JRPG where you're just surrounded by a good story, you have all these cool characters, the music's awesome, it just makes the fight feel so much bigger and better and more climactic whenever you're actually playing it, and this game does a good job at it. So when it comes to audio, Atlus, music's covered, voice acting great, protag's great, a lot of the other gods, demons sound phenomenal. So, Atlus, overall, great audio, super good. I'm glad they did a pretty good job with that. And this is going to be the next thing here, and this is the quality of life changes that they have done to this game. So little teeny tiny spoiler here, but this is nothing story or crucial at all, and so there's going to be no spoilers in this. Someone may be considering this a spoiler at all, but this is just a quality of life thing that I wanted to bring up, and that is the Demon Compendium and fusions. They are now a whole lot easier in this game. For all that I could tell you, without giving any spoilers, you do not have to pick up your phone to understand fusions for this game, which I am so happy for. That is all I'm going to really leave that at, but this quality of life change when it comes to the Demon Compendium and fusions, I think this might be the biggest thing in terms of quality of life that we've seen for a Meg 10 game, like, for decades. I mean, there's a lot of games that we've had, and not a ton has changed, you know, more fusions, bigger fusions, different fusion types, things like that, but this is an overhaul of the Compendium system and the Demon Fusion system, where this works a whole lot better, bringing a bunch of different types of fusions that really help you out a lot, and it's super simple to also understand. It makes not even like a veteran happy. This can also make a person who just picked up a Meg 10 game for the first time super happy with how they have this thing going. So yes, you do not really need to have your phone in order to understand how to fuse certain characters. As you keep fusing, it will keep making you understand how to get other fusions for other demons and whatnot. It's super easy to learn and really fun, because I find this to be the easiest way how to do this. I think a lot of people are going to easily complete the Compendium. That doesn't say that it won't be a challenge to get certain demons or anything, but I do think it is sort of more mainline and streamlined, which some people have been kind of mad about on Reddit. Some people kind of like it. I really like this. I don't know how many times through, and I know you're not supposed to compare this to P5 or anything, but there's still demon fusions, or I guess persona fusions. So many times I'd have to look up stuff like, how do I get, you know, the Pale Rider, how do I get this, how do I get that, how do I get the Trumpeteer? You have to look up a bunch of different things to figure out how to do that stuff. SMT3, I sort of had that problem as well, but with SMT5, it's a whole lot easier. I can't emphasize how much better they have done when it comes to the Compendium and with fusions. Moving on over to the World Exploration. So, something I was really looking forward to, and something that I really love that they started doing with SMT3, is this idea of like overworld exploration. So overworld exploration is something that I think is sort of new to the JRPG-ish genre when it comes to turn-based anyway, because a lot of times you get more of the action, more of the story and whatnot in these smaller segments and during these little battles that you have with other characters, but there's not a ton of sense to have a lot of the open world aspect to these games. But as they get bigger and start exploring more things, like Persona 5 Strikers had more exploration, you'd go around a bit more. Persona 5 Royal would also have this as well. SMT3 had this. I'm just comparing this to other JRPGs. Don't kill me, don't put me under fire. Even Final Fantasy VII Remake is exploring this as well, where these big JRPGs are going into more of a open worldy type of feel, which is different, I think, considering the genre. It's usually more linear, one path, or you get another path you go down, but this actually feels really good. They do a good job at understanding how the character is supposed to get to a certain objective, but there's still stuff on the side that you can explore, and it actually feels rewarding when you go do these things, because they have these side quests that you can also do along the way. I believe SMT4 brought in side quests from demons and whatnot, but the side quests in here feel very fleshed out. The best thing about these side quests is they are not repetitive, so the game rewards you quite a lot for going out and finding in exploration in the world these side quests. They feel rewarding. There's treasures. There's new things that have been implemented. I think we've talked about the glory system and the essence system that they have in this game. It's a little bit different. I think they had it in SMT4, something similar to that. But in SMT5, like I said, this isn't really spoilery. We've seen this before in the volume updates for SMT5. We do sort of already know about this and the essence stuff, so they've already shown that out before, but that is also something you get rewarded for quite often when it comes to exploration, when it comes to everything else. It's good to check every nook and cranny. There are stuff that can hide there. It isn't just search this little corner. Oh, you got a life, chain or a bead chain, which is like really good, but it's like, it's just a healing item. At the end of the day, it's just a healing item. But you can actually unlock a lot of really cool stuff and get a lot of really cool rewards just by moving around the overworld, which is really nice. Moving on to one of my last points here, it is the ease of access when it comes to the teleportation in the game. So SMT3 has this good teleportation system, I think, as well. It's the last SMT game I played, but you could teleport to where these other places are. And a big thing that I really wanted to have for this game is do not have these save points be in very weird places where you teleport to somewhere, have to walk and move like 10 minutes somewhere else just to get to there, and then do something there, and then leave, and then go to some other place. You have to go to Shibuya, walk around there, go to Ikebukuro, teleport somewhere else. It just seemed like very back and forth, and would be a lot easier if there was like somewhere in between or some progress that could be easier to fast travel to. But it looks like in this game there are certain paths that you go on, and as you keep going along them, there are save spots periodically along the way. It's not just like, oh, here's Shibuya, teleport to Shibuya to Ikebukuro. It's not like just the two towns have one save point. That's not really how it is. Or they have their minor save point, which brings you to the big save point, which then, you know what I mean, it's an SMT3 system. That isn't what this is like. There are save points all the way along certain cities and places, and you could teleport to any of them in any order that you want to when actually you get to these places, because you have to sort of go back and forth for other side quests and things like that, which I love. I love me some good fast travel, especially in games that are going to be experimenting a little bit more with these open worldy aspects, and I think SMT does a very good job at it. I think it's all the points, major points I wanted to have here for my first impressions. These are mostly just the positives for this. I do plan on doing a good pros and cons type of video, and eventually a couple weeks, maybe a month down the road, when a lot of people have played the game, giving my full-on review, spoilers with everything in it. Not too long from now, but just a little overview in case you're still wondering. The game puts you right into the action, which is good. Good story, great music, great voice acting, audio, good quality of life changes to the Demon Compendium, stuff like that, leveling up demons, adding skills to them, stuff like that. It's a whole lot easier fusing them, using the Compendium. Overall, it's still very good and very easy to use. The Overworld Exploration is nice, immersive, and very rewarding for exploring, which is one of the big key points I really wanted for this game. And the fast travel is easy and nice to use, especially when using the fast travel system for those side quests. So overall, those are my most positive things that I have gathered from this game. I'm sure there's a lot of different elements and stuff like that, demon design, stuff like that, but I was working a little more on just game mechanics for this video in specific, because I know a lot of people already kind of expect there to be, good, cool demon designs, voice acting, music, stuff like that. People sort of expected that, I think, already from this game, but I wanted to go into maybe more of the actual game design type of stuff for this video, because I think a lot of people wonder, how has the game naturally progressed from the other Shin Megami Tensei games. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. Click the bell to be notified whenever I go live again or have a new video upload. And as always, thank you all so much for watching.